So in this week's live stream, I will be talking about these bad boys right here. Not specifically those books, because I have a hell of a lot of them. So I wrote a couple. So in this video, I'll be revealing all of the Charmed books that I've collected, and there's a lot of them. I thought there was more of them, to be fair, but if I'm remembering rightly, I think there's like about 45 or something along those lines. I've not actually counted them recently, but I do have my full collection here. I even have the Charmed Companions. The Charmed Companions. So you got one of those for each of the TV series. Although in this video, I want to talk predominantly about the Charmed books. Okay. So I'm going to make two piles. One pile with the books that is on my top 20 list. Survival of the Fittest, I did like that one. Survival of the Fittest. Inherit the Witch, I did like that one. But to be fair, I read these books quite a long time ago, so I feel like a few of them may slip through the cracks today. That sounded kind of silly, but a few of them may slip through the cracks because I'm choosing the ones that I remember the most. And see, this one, Leo Rising, that must be one of the newer ones. I never even remember having that one already or reading it, but I have read them all. That is so bizarre. I wonder what. So it says 2007 for this one. So that's probably just before it ended. So High Spirits is showing as one of the last one. So make a couple of piles, but there really is a lot of them here. I kind of ran out of time, y'all, because today I was with my mum, just celebrating her birthday because it's her birthday on Tuesday. So to cut long story short, I just treat her to a bit of food and a chill out evening. And my battery's low, but never mind that. So I'm going to just quickly check on YouTube. If you're online and watching this live, please do let me know in the comments if you can hear me and see me properly. If there's any pointers, please do let me know. And then I will get on with showing you these beautiful Charmed books, and we can discuss what we like about the Charmed books. And I can tell you what I remember about them as well. Right, YouTube. Find me. I don't even have my charger. That's going to go soon. Oh, bugger. So, yeah, I can see that I am live. Yay. So, yeah, I can see that I am live. Oh, gosh, that is weird. Hearing myself back. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. So please do make use of the chat, and I'll try to get back to you all as soon as possible, although that battery is about to die. So it may be after the live stream now. Okay. So High Spirits, that was showing us the last book. So is that the last one? So yeah, I think that may be the last one that they printed, High Spirits. Okay. All right. I really should have sorted these books out into piles before I started the live stream. But like I was mentioning, time kind of got the better of me. So this, so I'm just going to get right into it. So this has to be one of my favorites. So this one is Shadow of the Sphinx. So this one, obviously, the Charmed ones, they time travel to ancient Egypt as there's this weird Egyptian cult that seems to be in the area, and somehow the Charmed ones discover it, and and I believe one of them gets sent back into time. I think it may be Paige. Uh, but like I said, this was quite some time ago when I read this. Oh yeah, so yeah, Paige gets sent back in time, and she gets trans. Oh, that's what this one is. Sorry, my memory is coming. It's all coming back to me now because I read a little bit about on the blurb at the back, but I remember now. So, Shadow of the Sphinx. This is set just after the Charmed again. So we've Paige been a relatively new Charmed one and new to the Power of Three. She feels like she has to compete with Prue because Prue was like the strongest one, or at least that's how the show made it out. Like Prue's active power of telekinesis was the most coveted out of the three Charmed ones' powers because she could totally kick butt and put the demons in the place. And in one episode, they even was like, "Oh, fight it with the power of one," and they made a whole big deal, like it was. They wanted people to think that the power of one was Prue because she had the most coolest active power, but obviously, the fight it with the power of one just meant fight it with the power of three. But why they didn't just say that in the first place? But then, if they did say that in the first place, then you wouldn't have had a full episode. But yeah, that's the TV, a tidbit from the TV series. So back to Shadow of the Sphinx. So in this one, it's really cool because, as I said, they the Charmed ones they travel back to ancient Egypt, or at least Paige does. So Paige, because she's trying to compete with the memory of Prue, she trans she is practicing a spell to turn herself into a bird, I believe. So she shapeshifts into a bird, and somehow she gets taken to ancient Egypt in bird form, and she's kind of stuck in that form. So it's a bit crazy. But what I really liked about it was that you you get a kind of a glimpse into ancient Egyptian life and culture and the religion because one in the Egyptian cult sort of coven. I'll I'll lean more toward coven because it's not really like a nasty thing from what I remember. But then again, I may be remembering wrong because I believe that they do have to compete against that Egyptian coven, who's like Kemetic and worshipping the ancient Egyptian deities and trying to travel back to those times. So I'm gonna read you what it says. So it's so obviously Paige has been practicing to shapeshift into just shapeshift full stop, but she manages it, but then she gets stuck and somehow ends up in ancient Egypt. So it says one problem: she can't shift herself back. Her sisters inadvertently betray her when they deposit her to a local animal shelter. Ouch. Poor Paige. Suddenly, she finds herself the familiar of a cult that worships ancient Egyptian deities and is catapulted into ancient Egypt. Piper, Phoebe, Piper and Phoebe discover the identity of a stray cat and rally a rescue mission only to discover another Catwoman also entrapped within a fortress-like sphinx. This kitty is one feline femme fatale, and the sisters are going to have to put their human heads together to defeat her. So basically, yeah, this one was one of my favourites. So I do highly recommend, if you're going to read any of the Charmed books, do go out and read this one, because The Shadow of the Sphinx was pretty damn cool, and it's one of my favourites. So the spell on the back, it says, shifting sands, eternal dust, unending time moves as it must, but ancient wisdom works through me. Time is mine where'er it be, or where'er I be, rather. But yeah, that is a pretty cool one. So we'll move on from there. So that is definitely in my top 20. So I'm gonna say number one. That's my number one for now. I may change my mind. So I did like a couple of these older ones. So this is The Power of Three and Haunted by Desire. So The Power of Three is obviously just the pilot episode that they created. So that is when these three sisters come back together because they was all split up. Because I believe Phoebe had gone over to New York and they wasn't on good terms with each other because Phoebe had cheated on Prue's boyfriend. She'd kind of like had an affair with Prue's boyfriend of the time. So it was really awkward. But Phoebe had to come back to San Francisco, and she comes back to the family home. And with her coming back, it triggers them getting their powers back because they're all together. So they're the charmed ones. The Power of Three, as you most likely know if you're watching this video. So they all get their powers, and that is the pilot episode. So most of you, if you're into Charmed, then you most likely would have seen that episode where they all get their powers, and it's pretty cool. So also in that episode, that Piper has to fight, or Piper discovers that her boyfriend was actually grooming her and was just waiting for her to get a power so then he could come swoop in and kill her sisters and steal all of their powers. So yeah, poor Piper. And then what I also liked about this book, it was two books in one. So it's The Power of Three and Haunted by Desire. Unfortunately, I don't really remember a lot about the other one. So yeah, it's not really that memorable. I'll read you what it says. So it says, Phoebe thinks that taking a college course will add some intellectual excitement to her life, especially when she meets Brett, a gorgeous guy in her class, but someone is determined to stop their blossoming friendship, someone with supernatural powers. I really don't remember that one. But yeah, we'll move on. So that'll be in the not so memorable list. So Leo Rising, Phoebe Who, it says. So that is another one of the newest books. So to be fair, I don't really remember that one that much either. So I'll read you the spell. A battle's finale. When sisters lost, enemies disguised as friends aim to cross. Two sisters must remind her what she can't recall to bring her home safely and restore power to all. So yeah, I'll show you the front of that one. So that's Phoebe Who. So I'm kind of gonna Phoebe Who that book because it's not really memorable for me. So that's gonna go in the second rate pile. If any of you have read these books, please do let me know if I'm getting it wrong, because it was quite some time ago when I actually did read all of these. They've just been catching dust recently. So High Spirits is another one. So that's another one of the newer ones. So let's see what it says. She sang her telegram to a Hollywood star. Now he entertains her from afar. Thought a friend help in our quest to rid this mansion of an unwanted guest. Yeah, to be fair, I don't really remember that one too much. So it says, the charmed ones travel to Hollywood to attend a big bash hosted by Kevin Peterson. Paige's old flame. Kevin is holding the party at his recently purchased mansion, which he was able to afford because of rumours that it is haunted. Sure enough, ghostly goings on begin almost immediately, but everyone believes that Kevin is the one behind the haunting. That does sound vaguely familiar, so I'm going to put that in the middle. The Garden of Evil. Not every fairy tale has a happy ending. So that's the Garden of Evil. So that's one of the newer books, as you can. Oh, wait a minute. It's got a page in that, so that it's not that new. So I'm guessing that was somewhere in the middle, Garden of Evil. So the spell on this one: by the power above and by all things good, bring me a love who will always be true. That spell wasn't that brilliant, to be fair. But yeah, that one's not very memorable, so that's going to go in the second pile. Okay, the Queen's Curse is another one. So that's the Queen's Curse. Okay. So it says, if it seems too good to be true, that's the tagline which comes with it. And on the back of the spell, while trouble brews, a ring is placed, but evil may have hidden its face. A perfect prince and love's true tale show the secrets we must not fail. So Paige has finally met her Prince Charming. Funny, smart, sweet, beyond good looking. Colin is fantastic. By the time he's got her phone number, Paige is completely smitten, and he isn't evil, which is definitely a plus. In fact, he seems pretty much perfect. After just a few dates, Colin asks Paige to marry him, and she accepts. So that's a bit of the blurb. Yeah, I really don't remember too much about that one. I'm going to put it in the middle because it is kind of giving me some feels. Like Truth and Consequences. I feel like I kind of like this one a bit. So the spell here, it says Earth, Water, Fire, Air. Aid me in this task I dare. Where Cole wanders, let me see as I will, so mote it be. So it says Cole is working late and the sisters are having a girls' night in. So on the spur of the moment, Phoebe accepts what seems like an innocent date with a friendly stranger, but good intentions are quickly misconstrued when Cole leaves work early to surprise Phoebe and is stunned to find her sharing a drink with another man. Yeah, that doesn't sound too familiar. Oh, but I think it's saying the name Nick. So I think that may be. I think that's the with the storyline with where it kind of where it's a will they won't they with Phoebe and this Nick guy, because I believe he's her like shadow writer or ghost writer for when she does her Agony Aunt stuff, the Ask Phoebe stuff. So I think that must follow some of that storyline. Okay, so that's Truth and Consequences. We'll put that in the middle. Crimson Spell. So I really liked this one. So even though it's kind of simplistic and hello, Empress Delight. Oh, thank you for popping in. So the Crimson Spell. Beware the colour of evil. So I really liked this one. So it's to do with warlocks in this one. So basically, from what I remember, they I believe that Piper stumbles in on some kind of warlock, or some warlock surprise attacks them. But luckily, she's been studying the Book of Shadows, and she has a pretty nifty spell to capture the warlocks and bind them in place. In the spell, it pretty much binds them in place forever, or until they've done the spell. So here it says, evil thoughts and dark desires boil and burn in a wicked brew. Throw hate and fear into the fire, may friends and lovers both be true. So that is. Oh, she says she'll come back. That's lovely. But Crimson spell. So the spell that I liked in this one is that she uses a spell. Piper believes she uses a spell to bind the warlock. So the spell was green as the grass, green as the ocean's curl, bind he who would harm the girl. Green is the light, and green shall it bend and hold you, warlock, until the world's end, or until time's end, or something along those lines. So you can see that I really did like that book because I literally have memorized that spell. It's not in any of the episodes of the TV series. So yeah, that one can go in the pile number 1. Gypsy Enchantment is another one. It seems like there's such a lot of them here. So Gypsy Enchantment. So it says 3 wing ats and 3 thrice told tales bring threefold power that never fails. Gypsy legends, gypsy lore, gypsy demons haunt no more. So I feel like that's one that I don't remember too much, but again, I feel like there is some feels there, so I feel like I'm going to put that in the middle pile because it's not too memorable, but it's not abysmal either. So the Spirit of the Wolf is another one. So I feel like I definitely did like this one. I feel that way anyway. So I'll read the spell. So it says, in the untouched forest, a magic beast appears, a savior of the land or symbol of the deepest fears. So it says, Phoebe and Paige arrive for a pre-opening weekend and sisterly bonding, but are soon drawn into dangers by incidents both natural and unnatural. A powerful shaman holds the key to the mystery with his secret knowledge that is shared by the wolf haunting the land. The sisters call upon Piper, Leo, and Cole for guidance and summon all their powers to confront a demon as cunning as any they have ever encountered. I feel like I definitely do like that one, but I feel like, let's see, when did this one come out? 2002. So yeah, that is one of the really old ones, but I feel like I definitely did like that one. So that's going in the first pile. The Warren Witches. Now this one I really liked a lot. The Warren Witches. That is kind of, it's like stories within stories within stories, or like a compilation of different stories, and it follows the Warren Witches and who are the Charmed Ones' descendants. So it's the Charmed Ones, their grandma, their great ancestors, aunts, stuff like that. So it goes back and follows some of the storylines, which was quite interesting. So it says their magic has been passed through the ages. So that's why in this charmed book, it follows the charmed power, which has followed the Halliwells or Warren witches, as they call them as well. So I really did like this one. What I remember the most about this one, I believe they travel back in time, and I'm sure they meet like Grams or something along those lines, unless I'm getting it confused with one of the episodes. But what I do remember the most is that I really did like that book. So that is definitely in the good pile. So far we've got 4 books in my top 20. Voodoo Moon. I feel like I did like this one. So this one was interesting because obviously it's dealing with voodoo and with the voodoo spirit. So for someone who'd not really came across much of the voodoo like magic and the African Santeria voodoo, I'd not really came across much of it. So when I read this book, it was interesting because it gives you like a very simple briefing on what voodoo actually is. So I found it useful in that way because it kind of introduced me to like the basics about the lower, and it shows you that in this book, I believe, because they travel to New Orleans, and I believe someone's explaining to the charmed ones, that the voodoo, you have voodoo spirits. There is a couple of different categories. So there is the Radaloa, who I believe were the benevolent voodoo beings or spirits, and then there is the Petroloa, who were more malevolent and you wouldn't really want to mess with them. And there is the Ged as well, who are the voodoo spirits of the dead. So I really found that one interesting just because it introduced the concepts of voodoo when I'd really not come across any of that in anything before that. Obviously, since then, I've looked more and more into it because obviously the African spiritual system is within my blood. So I have looked further into that since then, but it was a good way to kickstart it. So that's definitely going in the first pile. Season of the Witch, Volume 1. So, Season of the Witch. Welcome back, Empress Delight. So, Season of the Witch, Volume 1. I can't really remember this one too. Oh, so yeah, so from what I can see is, so from the blurb, it shows you that in this one, it follows through the Wiccan Sabbats. So we have some tales from in Samhain, which is Halloween. There's Yule and Imbolc as well. So it follows like the charmed ones in those special witchy times of the Wiccan or witchy Sabbats. So I believe that one was quite interesting, although it wasn't massively memorable. So I'm going to put that in the middle pile. Hurricane Hex. I really did like that one. From what I can remember of it anyway, a few of these are kind of getting mixed up together. So Margaret's Mentor. I feel like that one had something to do with folk magic. Yeah, I believe like one of the charmed one's neighbors. I believe one of the neighbors is practicing some folk magic, and I believe they was using the folk magic to avert the hurricane, maybe. But that is what I vaguely remember about that. But I would put that in the middle pile because I remember bits of it, but I don't remember lots of it. Legacy of Merlin. So obviously this one is to do with Merlin and Merlin's magic. So that is definitely in my top 20. So Legacy of the Merlin. So this one is talking about warlocks and druids as well. So it says, Prue lands a summer trip to England to buy medieval books for a collector, so Phoebe and Piper tag along to the quaint village of Hay-on-Wye in the heart of King Arthur country. While Piper reads how to make love charms from flowers, Phoebe meets the darkly handsome Niall, but she's taken by a desolate vision of him on a windswept heath holding an infant. Is Niall a warlock? So that one I did like. Definitely. Did I just see something? I feel like there's a possibility that they may even meet Merlin in it. But that is just a random. Maybe because it's such a long time ago. What date was this one? So this is year 2000. They published this one. So yeah, such a long time ago. We're bloody at 24 now. So 24 years. Oh my god. So but that is in the good pile. That's it. We're gonna keep that one. Well, I'm keeping them all, but when I say it, that's definitely in the top 20. Beware What You Wish For. Or Beware What You Wish is the next one. So the charmed books. So the spell on this one, when wishes give dark powers life, stark disaster becomes rife. Danger, chaos, evil rise before our unsuspecting eyes. So I feel like I did like this one, but I feel like because there's so many of them and some of them are really, really favourites, so I feel like that is a middle one, that one. So I'm going to put that in the middle and grab some of these. Mystic Knoll, this was another one of my favourites. So basically this one is based around like there's like a stone circle or ley lines and stone circles, and there's like a little altar of stone out in the middle of nowhere. And basically the charmed ones discover that somebody is tapping into this natural place of power, and in Charmed they always make a big deal about the nexuses because the Halliwell Manor is built on top of a nexus, and we've and it's at the convergence of the ley lines, so that means it's a place of power pretty much. And that's no coincidence that they built the Halliwell Manor there. But however, in this one, somebody is using the tapping into the manner of the tapping into the place of power, and he's using that power to for his evil begotten gains. So he's tapping into the power, and he's doing bad things with it. So obviously the charmed ones have to then intervene, and they have to then kind of cut the evil practitioner. We'll call him a warlock or something. I don't believe he was a warlock, but it was somebody who, I believe there may have been just somebody normal, but they'd figured a way of tapping into the stone circle to make bad things happen. So I like the spell on this one. So it says, a curse was made an innocent born. To darkness her small life was sworn. Gather the forces, bring them together. Save this girl from sadness forever. So it says something about Salem. So I feel like it may be... So it says she'd love to explore. Her page decides that what they need is a family getaway. So they want to explore Salem. So it looks like this stone circle is in Salem Machette's coast. So yeah, they basically they have to use the power of 3 to disconnect the evil practitioner from the stone circle and to connect it back to good again, because I believe the other practitioner who tapped into the stone circle in the place of power had claimed that place for evil. So the charmed ones come in and they claim it back for good again. So that's definitely in the good pile. So that's Mystic Knoll. Okay. Between Worlds, I really liked this one. So this one, I believe this one was set on Halloween time. So from what I remember, I believe it's to do with the fact that they're in Charmed. They say that the demons that they vanquish, the demons can come back again when it's Halloween. So I believe that is what this one's about. So it says, breath of air, soul of fire, grant this night my heart's desire, womb of earth, tears of sea, bring my lover back to me. Oh, so let me read what it says. It says, the Halliwell sisters are no strangers to Halloween, but this year the Wiccan celebration of Samhain is met with a rash of destruction throughout the city. Upon further investigation, the Charmed Ones learn that the demolished buildings they've heard about are actually melting. These sites are in fact the location of dimensional portals, and they're under attack. Piper, Phoebe, and Paige will need to secure these barriers in order to prevent all havoc from being released. But the demon working against them is no ordinary monster. It's a wraith, the product of a grief-stricken young witch seeking to resurrect her lost love. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So yeah, I really did like that one. So that's definitely, I definitely do recommend reading that one. So that's going in the good pile in the top 20. We have Charmed Again. So Charmed Again, that is based on the TV episode. So after they killed Prue off, which I really was so annoyed about, they killed Prue in the TV series because there was dramas going on backstage. So Charmed Again is when they brought Paige into it, and basically they charmed. There was only two charmed ones because they'd killed Prue, who was the third. So then they introduced Paige, who is a long lost younger sister, who's half white lighter, and Charmed Again is how they introduce Paige into it, and they reconnect the power three. So yeah, that is a good one. But you can also see that one on the TV series. Gosh, there's so many. So there's Look, Be a Lady. I feel like I did like that one, but I can't remember exactly why. Light of the World. That one does not sound very familiar. So it says something about them going to some sort of wedding. Yeah, that one's not that memorable. I'm going to put that in the pile over there. Pied Piper. I feel like I did like that one. But I feel that's not even in my top 20 though. So that's going to go in the middle. So Pied Piper. So that's clearly to do with the kid's story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin, where he plays the flute or some sort of musical instrument and lures the kids away. So I believe for some reason Piper's going to take on that. So yeah, I don't really remember that one a lot, but I remember it was interesting. So it's going in the middle. Look, Be a Lady. I feel like this one is to do with like traveling to some different dimensions. I wonder if Piper travels to the demon underworld or something. Either that or it's time traveling. Yeah, so it says somebody accidentally creates a rip in time. Cole disappears to World War II era Hollywood and brings the sisters with him. So yeah, I did like that one. That one was pretty cool. That's going in the top 20. Brewing Storm. Now this one, I really love this one. So the Brewing Storm, that one ties into the storyline with the Firestarter. So the charmed ones, they discover a fire starter who's named Tyler, but this kind of brings his storyline out much more because he only gets, was it like one or two episodes or something along those lines? I believe it may even be just the one episode they have him in it, but this writer clearly knew that they was wasting a good storyline and good plot there. So they kind of create a whole backstory where Tyler, the Firestarter kid, he's not just some random kid who's a Firestarter. He's part of a bigger picture. So there's other elementals who are kind of like their avatars, sort of, for each of the elements, and they need to come together from the different corners of the world. So there's the Firestarter, there's the Windwalkers, there's the Water Bearers, all of these. So they all need to come together to prevent a great catastrophe, which is the Brewing Storm. So that one was really good. So I highly recommend that one. Okay, so there is House of Shards. House of Shards. I really don't remember that one too much. So that's going to go in the other pile. There's Date with Death. That can go in the other pile. Mist and Stone. I feel like I kind of like. I remember that one. So it says shadows of tomorrow from the past is sown on shifting sands and sorrows, veiled in mist or set in stone. So Paige Matthews is accustomed to the requirements of her job as a social worker. She's willing to endure a substandard pay, long hours, blah blah blah. But when Phoebe stops by the agency for a quick hello, she is rocked by a vision that involves Todd. Strangely, the vision is shrouded in fog. After some investigation, Leo explains that this particular mist has nothing to do with the weather, but rather suggests that Todd's fate may not be set in stone. So yeah, I don't remember a lot about that one, to be fair. So I'm going to put that in the middle. Okay. Dark Vengeance. I feel like I did like this one. So this was a similar storyline to the Roe Coven. So there was in the TV series, I think it's in the first season, there is the Roe Coven, which is a three brothers who are warlocks, and they're supposed to be the most powerful force for evil. But I feel so it's similar to that, but I believe these ones are Celtic. So there's like these Celtic warlocks who are super powerful, and they're akin to the Charmed ones. So the Charmed ones have to go against this Celtic clan who are super powerful. But I did like that one, so that's going in the good pile. Survival of the Fittest. I feel like I did like that one. So that, let's read what it says. So it says, alien abduction fever has gripped San Francisco. People everywhere are reporting loved ones missing, only to have them show up at home with no recollection of having been gone. The charmed ones can't help but become involved, especially when Phoebe receives a letter to her advice column from a woman who's convinced her sister was taken. The victim says she was just out, but since she's returned, she's developed an almost demonic devotion to a new workout program. So yeah, I feel like that one was a good one. So that one's definitely going in the good pile. Inherit the Witch. I feel like I did like that one, but I can't remember a lot of what that's about. So yeah, so it seems like it's to do with some young witch who's coming of age. So it says at the age of 13, so Lily's powers haven't manifested yet. So Juliana's worried that a demon may have stripped her daughter's magic. Enter the Halliwell sisters. But Lily's too much of a typical teen to welcome witch chaperones. She'd much rather sneak out to hang with her rebellious friend Drew. Could Drew's bad behaviour be related to Lily's missing magic? So I'm guessing that's obviously yes. But I feel like I did like that one, so that can go in the top 20. As Puck would have it, I believe I did like that one. And Mirror Image. Oh gosh, that one was so cool. So Will skeletons in the closet tear the sisters apart. So it says, mirror, mirror on the wall, poise is she to take the fall, as mist and fog I travel through, a demon's world this binding shall endure. So Phoebe Halliwell is stunned when her latest vision involves her younger half-sister Paige. The vision reveals to her that Paige is actually an imposter who will infiltrate the power of three and break it apart. However, Piper is dismissive when she learns of Phoebe's concerns, so much that Cole and Leo end up taking sides as well. Before long, all involved are on edge. So that one I really did like. So that's going in my good pile. As Puck would have it. So we've got three of them here. So oh gosh, there's still more over here. All right, so Date with Death Note, they're sorted. So okay, so Tale of Two Pipers. To be fair, I don't really remember much about that one. Just from the name anyway. So it says 2004. So while Darklight is threatened to steal true love, Magic made a wish go wrong. Where two are, once was one, but two does not mean twice as strong. Yeah, that's gonna go in the. I feel. I'll put it in the middle pile. Picture Perfect. I feel like I liked that one. So it says the Bay Mirror is covering the grand reopening of a mural house and San Francisco landmark built in the 1920s, and Phoebe invites her sister to attend. Piper's got her hands full with P3, but Paige happily tags along to see once famous artist colony that housed great art, passion, and scandal. Notable for all three is the story of the building's architect, William Lancaster, who during the construction fell in love with an artist, a young divorcee named Isabella Marshall. I honestly don't remember too much about that one, but I feel like I did like that one, so I'm going to pop that in the middle. So Kiss of Darkness, I liked that one. So I believe that was set around New Year's Eve, I believe this one is set. So yeah, it says something changed Prue Halliwell on New Year's Eve when a stranger gave her the most passionate kiss of her life. Now Prue feels driven to kiss every man she meets. At first, Piper and Phoebe think the new Prue is fun, but when Prue grows weaker with every kiss, the charmed ones know that evil is at work. So yeah, I feel like I did like that one. So I'm gonna put that in the good pile. Changeling Places. I'm going to pass that. So Changing Babies just got a whole new meaning. This book feels a lot thinner than the others. That's Changeling Places. Yeah, for some reason that book seemed. I'm going to see how many pages is in that, because that looks to be smaller than some of the others. So that's 151 pages in there. And then we'll look at a couple of these from the good pile. So this one definitely is chunkier. Mirror Image, the one that I was showing you about. So yeah, this other one has 227 pages. Mirror Image. So yeah, I definitely like that one more than that one. So I'm going to pop you in the second rate pile. So Kiss of Darkness, that was in the good pile. So how many have we got here so far? So let's count these good ones. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 we have in the favourite pile. Okay. So there's Demon Doppelgangers. I feel like that one was a fun I'm saying episode. I feel like that one was a fun book. That one. Sweet Talking Demon. So Something Wiccan This Way Comes. I did like that one. That was interesting, this one, as the charmed ones go to a sort of witchy retreat, a bit like Burning Man Festival or whatever they call it, or some sort of witchy retreat. So it's really interesting, that one. I did like that. Oh, and they've got something random at the back of it. Semi-final showcase, unsigned festival. Very random that should be in there. Okay, but that is definitely going in my favourite pile. I did like that one. So I'll show you the pictures. That's Something Wiccan This Way Comes. So that's a good one. I'll read the spells. It says, Sister Wiccas gather round. By our powers we are bound. Hand in hand and heart to heart. Force all evil to depart. So that is a fun one. Okay, so we have Soul of the Bride. Oh gosh, this one's quite dusty, but it's one of the favourites as well. So Soul of the Bride, this one was pretty damn cool because the charmed ones travel down into the underworld they literally, I believe, because in Prue, it's in the one set when Prue is in the when Prue is in Charmed. So Prue has just started a new job as a photographer for, is it 4One Something magazine? She's just started a new job as a photographer for this hit new magazine, and she's been given this really old and strange camera to use. So apparently it will take the pictures in the specific way that the magazine is looking for. So there's these beautiful models, so they get them she gets them to come to the Halliwell Manor, and she takes the pictures with the creepy old camera in the magical manor house. And for some reason, when she takes photos of the models, they all like fall asleep, and it's pretty crazy. So they they come to discover that the camera is like cursed or something, and whoever's photos are taken with the camera, their souls are taken to Hades, into the underworld. So the charmed ones go to the underworld to try and, so they take a boat ride with Karen, or Charon, who is the boat rider, over the River Styx. So they take a boat ride and they go to try to save the models who has been sent to the underworld. So that one is definitely in the good list. So there's Whispers from the Past and The Power of Three. So I feel like we've had that one twice. Yeah, I did have that book twice. Yep. Seeing double. Don't ask me why I got it twice. Actually, I do know why I got it twice, because I think I got the Power of Three book first on its own, and then I came across the Haunted by Desire book. So I didn't have Haunted by Desire, so I got this one, Haunted by Desire, but it also has Power of Three with it. So there you go. So Whispers from the Past, that one, I feel like I did like this. Let me read what it says. A shard of mirror for a broken reflection, a pocket watch with a cracked face, a catch of herbs to burn for protection, all will send me to another time and place. So Phoebe Halliwell is having a very bad day. A demon has pulled her centuries into the past. She has no way to tell her sisters she's alive, no way to get back to her own time, and the demon is trying to kill her. What's new? Back in the present, Prue and Piper are devastated at losing their sister, but that isn't their only problem. Something is wrong with them too. Somehow they're turning evil, but why, and how can they stop it without the power of three? So yes, I feel like I did definitely like this one. Gosh, my hair was scaring me then. It felt but yeah, that is definitely in the good list. So that's Whispers from the Past. So we have Demon Doppelgangers. That was in the good list as well. So I'll read you what it says about this. So Paige has a new job. So this is from 2005, this one. So Paige has a new job and it's perfect for her. She's working at a museum, conducting tours through a travelling Grecian display. It's temporary, but it's better than nothing, and it means she gets to see Chase, a really hot guy who started working at the museum at about the same time as she did. One day, though, a big stone ovoid meant to represent a dragon's egg turns up, and it gives her the creeps. When Paige asks Phoebe and Piper to come check it out, they agree there's something definitely evil about the weird old egg. It's funny, I don't remember a lot about this one, but I feel like I definitely did like it, so that's definitely going in the good pile. So I feel like there's definitely 20 there, and 3 books to go. So let me count once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, yeah, they're the favourite 20. And we have Sweet Talking Demon left. So he talks the talk. Sweet Talking Demon. So Phoebe can't believe her luck. Finally, she's met the perfect guy. Why does she keep falling for demons? Can somebody please tell me? That's Sweet Talking Demon. I'm going to throw that in the middle pile. As Puck would have it, I did like that one, I'm sure. So I'm going to put that. That's going to have to go in the middle pile because we ran out of space in the favourite pile. And Trickery and Treats, that I'll show you the front of As Puck Would Have It. So Puck is from Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream. So he's like a trickster spirit, a nature trickster spirit. So it was interesting to see how he got woven into this Charmed book. So I would recommend checking that one out. So that's in the middle pile. And the last one is Trickery Treat. This Halloween, things get a little trickier than usual. So that's the cover of that one. Okay. So let's see what it says about this. A portal opened as a means for amends, leaves a vengeful spirit to roam. Helping him cross over is the only way to restore peace within the home. So it's Halloween and Piper is busy decorating the manor, which has become the neighborhood hotspot on the most exciting night of the year. Meanwhile, Paige decides to use the party as a chance to honor the dead. She casts a spell that creates a portal for a clan of leprechauns and other wandering spirits. The guests are thrilled and impressed with the realistic effects, but Phoebe, Piper, and Paige soon realise that they have a big trick to deal with. One not-so-friendly ghost going out of his way to turn the manor into a haunted house. The charmed ones must stop this evil soul with a vengeance before he takes the life of one experienced ghost hunter who knows his story and has met him before. Oh, that's interesting. I don't actually remember that one that much. But I feel like that does sound pretty cool, to be fair. So that one is going to go in the middle pile. So that's 2008. So I feel like that is one of the last books they did. Yeah, so there you have it. That is my Charm book collection. So here I have the Book of Three Companions, the official companion with the hit show. So the first, you have the brown one. So that's for the first seasons where it's with Prue. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that is so weird. They must have made these before. They must have made these companions after they'd kicked Prue out, Prue or Shannon Doherty, because she's not. I've only just realised she's not even on any of the covers of the companions. That's so weird. I thought she was going to be on the first one at least, but that's the companion. So I think that's this companion's for the first 4 seasons, I believe, of the TV series. So I'll show you a few pictures of this. So what's interesting, it does, if you like the spells in the Charmed, it has the spells written down from the pages. So to attract a lover, so it has the spells which they use in the TV episodes, which is quite cool about the companion. But to be fair, you can find most of this stuff on the internet anyway. If you just type in charm spells and all of this stuff comes up. So there are a few of the charm spells, which is interesting. Then there's a few pictures. You have the charmed ones. And then they're there again. So yeah, it's pretty much what it says on the tin, really. The charmed companion. And then that's the second one. That's for the newer series when Billy joins in towards the end in the last season or so. So again, it's just more of the same. So it tells you about the different demons. So it's got stuff about the Triad, the ultimate power, vampires, the vampire queen. So it has some interesting stuff. And then another power 3 picture. I nearly said another power picture then. So yeah, just a few pictures from the random scenes. The power of 4 apparently. How dare they say that that's the power of 4? When all of the Charmed fans, we wanted the power of 4 to include Prue. We wanted somehow for Prue to come back and for them to have the power of 4, but they never did it. Not even in the final episode. How dare they? So yeah. So that's the Charmed companions. Here I have my own replica of the Book of Shadows. So it's not as good as what you have in the Charmed book. Although some of it looks pretty cool. Here we have the 7 Deadly Sins. So that these are replica pages exactly like what they have in Charmed. So let's see what other pages there is that are like that. And then there's the Mariners page. That I made this quite a while ago. It's not that neat, to be fair. But it was good practice for when I started making my actual Book of Shadows and Grimoires. I quite liked this page. So that's the Wendigo page. So I printed out the picture of the Wendigo, and then I had a go at writing in the Wendigo information, and it looks pretty cool. It quite matches well, I think. Okay. So you have the Seer spell. So that's the Seer, and then there's to extract knowledge. And then there's about the Lazarus demon, Brute demon. And some of the pages I just drew myself, but they're not. Some of them are not very good. Quite like this page. I've never actually saw that in the TV series, but apparently that's somewhere in the book. A picture of dragons with some Latin. So I'd love to know what that's all about. We need to find whoever designed the Charmed book and ask them. So that's Troc demon info. And that's a random one that I made myself. I had to go at making up my own demon and writing in a vanquishing spell. I quite liked how that one turned out. And then there was to summon the dead, I just saw, and about poltergeists. To summon the dead, so that's this. So in Charmed again, at the beginning of Charmed again, Piper uses this spell to try and call back Prue. So it was. Then again, I'm not going to say that spell out loud just because it's nighttime and I'm going to be going to bed soon. So let's not summon no spirits. Okay. The truth spell, the karma spell. So yeah, I printed out a lot of the spells. But yeah, that's just my little replica book. So there you have it. This is the Charmed books. So wow, I feel like there is a lot of them there. So if you do have any questions, or if you've got any insights or any comments, if you did like any of these books in particular, if you agree with me on my top 20, or if you disagree, if you believe some of the other books should be in the top 20, let me know. And please do check out some of the other videos, and see you later, guys. I'll catch you next week at Friday.